Puppy Pot and Chill number 691. I'm sitting here, I got Munch here with me, and I got a fuck ton of news to get through. I might have to do this in two separate videos. We'll see how it goes. Munch is up on the bed chewing on one of his toys. Maybe he'll come down and get in the video later. We'll see. But for now, let's jump right in with a hit first, and then I'm going to get into some news. So, take a hit. And always remember, you got to be 21 in a state where it's legal to smoke marijuana. If you're not, just don't do it. Let's be smart stoners. And don't listen to me. I'm a stoner. I smoke pot. Yeah, I try to get you to the truth as close as I can. You know, that's my agenda, to try to give you an honest and truthful opinion about what's happening in the world today. But I'm a stoner. I make a lot of mistakes. So if you hear something that intrigues you that I say, don't take my word for it. You look it up. You figure out what the truth is. That's what I really want. But for now, let's jump in. Hudson Mayor gives teachers an ultimatum for child sex abuse. The teachers had the kids write about a highly sexual experience that you wouldn't show your parents. In other words, something so explicit that you wouldn't even tell your mom or dad. Inappropriate, illegal material being disseminated to the children. The students, not sure how many, some were even minors now, were given alcohol, asked to imbibe, and then write about their experience. Teachers giving minors alcohol and then asking them to write about it. Mayor Craig Schubert of Hudson laid out a very clear course of action. Resign immediately or face charges of child sex abuse. I would have added child endangerment and any other charge you can bring against those fucktard teachers for the emotional and mental scarring they did on those children. I think those fucks got off easy. Fire those cunts and then charge them with whatever you can, and when they're found guilty, they should be hauled into town square and caned. At least 10 strikes. Look up caning, corporal punishment. I think it's suitable for this. And tell me that that isn't the perfect punishment tool for any crime that involves the exploitation of children like this. Then, after the caning, off to a saltwater jail. No bed, no chair, just a 10 by 10 cell with a foot of salt water in it. They must shit and piss in the salt water, so after caning they must stand until they pass out. Then when they hit the water with the open cane wounds, they scream and snap right back to their feet until exhausted and dead. And that is more consideration than those scum fucks deserve, doing that to our children. Parents are losing their shit when they find out what schools are teaching their children. Parents are mad and at the end of the rope and going after the schools and faculty. Some schools are telling students not to trust their parents in an effort to hide what they are doing. So they're doing all this illegal shit and then saying, don't tell your parents. That's fucked up. No, you trust your parents. Don't trust the fucking fucked up teachers. AOC was slammed for almost a week straight over her ignorant choice of dress for the Met. Only the rich got to laugh at AOC's dress, as the rich knew that AOC had no loyalty to her constituents and her dress means nothing but sarcasm. And let's the the elites know that she is above all the rest of the people below her. She is an elite and thinks that 99.99999% of Americans are beneath her. She used to be a shitty bartender. Now she is a fucked shitty politician that is a self-proclaimed elite that doesn't have to wear a mask because she forces everyone around her to get vaxxed and masked. That way she is protected because everyone around her has been jabbed and wears a mask, so she shouldn't have to. Rules for you, not for them. Fuck those cunts. Australia lockdown gets tighter and more crazy. Concentration camps for society's undesirables keep popping up, and people are being forced to go into those concentration camps if they do not get jabbed or if they are tested and are shown to have COVID. Yeah, just like those World War II crazy fucks and what they did to a certain group of people. They're doing it to their own citizens in Australia now. People are forced to wear face masks in the open, in the public, at the beach, even swimming. If that comes to America, people will revolt. Now, how do I know that people would revolt? Because in Australia, where they're doing these lockdowns, hundreds of thousands of people are coming out in protest, peaceful protest, not throwing things, not burning things, but standing there with signs saying no more lockdown. And because these people are holding peaceful protests, the government says that they are terrorists. They want control of the people bad. Just like the Democrats here in America. U.S. officials say the Reaper drone followed that car that they droned for hours. Then, with the intel that they had, they fired upon said car, and 3 surrounding buildings that turned out to be buildings of an aid worker and 7 children, along with that car, got blown up. So, no bad person from the Taliban or Al Qaeda or anybody else got droned. Biden followed the wrong people and had a drone fire upon an aide to the U.S. and killing 7 children. What a worthless clusterfuck piece of shit Biden is. If you voted for Biden, are you proud yet? I am so glad I didn't vote for that worthless fucktard. If you voted for Biden, I'd be ashamed if I were you. You keep saying that people who are on the right and conservatives are the ones that should be ashamed, but it's a Democratic left and all of their fuck-ups that make people look bad. Because of the Democratic left, anybody who is human is ashamed of the Democratic left and what they're doing. They're ashamed of the failure coming from the Democratic left. They're ashamed of the players, of the politicians that don't know what they're doing, that make stupid fucking decisions that end up killing people. I'd be ashamed if I had anything to do with those ignorant fucks. So if you're a Democratic leftist, you should be ashamed. I'm ashamed on behalf of you, just because you're human and you're that fucking stupid. Joint Chiefs of Staff Milley is still not under arrest for treason or collusion or staging a coup with another politician. We won't mention names, Pelosi. And let's face it, the Democratic leader Pelosi is a crack-smoking, lying, racist, scandal-covering piece of shit. I mean, let's face it, Pelosi is 60 years past her prime. She's suffering from mental disabilities, and she needs to be removed. She is way too old and senile and way too fucking dumb from smoking all that fucking crack. What a cunt. She doesn't care about the people, only about herself. Let's take a hit. The good news is that Biden cannot enforce the mandate for jabs. But he can, has, and will continue to fight dirty. He can't force you to take the vax, so Biden is putting pressure on businesses. Due to that, in order to operate, the businesses must follow the mandate that it can't be enforced, but without the companies doing what Biden wants them to do, Biden is withholding money from them as a punishment. So the businesses have to comply to keep on remaining being in business, and this in turn forces the businesses to do what Biden wants about the vax. So it's not really enforceable by Biden, but he's fighting dirty to make people get the vax. And it's bullshit. It's another way to control people, and the CDC has shown that the third booster shot is actually more harmful than it does good for you. Look it up. The CDC has put out a full report on it. However, the Democrats and the left ignore it because they need to continue to use fear and COVID to get you to do what they want. It's all about power. They don't give a fuck about you. They want power. And it's proven by all their fucked up bad decisions that don't work, that cause more people to die than help. But the mainstream media doesn't report that because then it goes against their agenda, even though their agenda is a flat out lie. You can go to the CDC and look up the truth for yourself. And you can go and look up what real scientists say about the COVID, about schmovid. It's not what the Democratic left says at all. The scientists say one thing, but then the Democratic left says, oh no, we use science to make our decisions, but they don't, because if they did, they would end the lockdown and not make people get the third jab. It's all about control and power. That's it. Like I said, the CDC has shown that the third jab does more harm than good. Democrats don't care. They don't care about hurting you. They care about the power that they can get. Period. And I wish there was another way to get around getting the vax, but if you want to travel, if there are certain things you want to do, you're going to have to get it. My girlfriend My significant other, the woman who I plan to spend the remaining years of my life with, she fought cancer and won. The doctor said that her getting the vaccine would be dangerous, but because she wants to travel, she didn't have a choice. So she had to go against the doctor's wishes and she placed herself in danger because the administration said that's the only way she could travel. That is proof that the government does not give a fuck about you at all. They don't care. If they cared, they wouldn't have made her get those vaccines. But because they don't care, they made her get them. That is absolute proof. The government does not have your best interest at mind. They only care about power they can gain for themselves. Period. No two ways around it. The Massachusetts governor deploys the National Guard to drive school buses, citing the poor workforce conditions for the move of bringing in the National Guard. Now, the Democratic left says that our workforce is doing great. We got 10.4 million jobs needed to be filled, and there's all this. No. The 10.4 jobs are because people are quitting to get the free Biden money. People are not going out and filling these job positions because Biden's free money. We have a work problem. We have an employment problem. But the Dems keep saying, oh no, things are great. Things are awesome. If things are so great, then why did Massachusetts have to have the National Guard come in to drive buses for them? Oh, let me tell you why. Because it's all a clusterfuck. Because of Biden. Even though they say things are great, they are not. And then there are those that are forced out of their job. They're fired because of the vax dissension. The mandate forcing people to get the jab. People are saying, no, I'd rather quit. Adding to the open jobs. That Biden says he's creating jobs. No, he's not. He is fucking people out of jobs. He is fucking over the workforce, and he is fucking over the unemployed. Florida landlords now issue vaccine mandate for tenants to require proof of vax to live in their place with threat of eviction. Man, it just keeps getting worse and worse. So now I have a feeling this is going to go to court, but now landlords are saying that they need proof of vaccination before they'll rent to you. That should be blatantly illegal. But behind Biden's administration, oh no, that's fine. But our homeless problem just keeps on growing. And Biden says, oh no, it's fine. Even though in San Francisco they got a poop patrol for people to pick up human shit off the street and sidewalks because of so many people living on the street. But no. Things are fine. Ask Biden. Ask any Democrat. You see here the obvious, the blatantly obvious. They're saying, no, things are fine. You want to believe that? Go ahead. If you believe it, you're a fucking moron. LA County mandates to require proof of vax for indoor bars, nightclubs, breweries, and other businesses. The vax is not going to be forced on people, according to the gov, but they're making so that if you're not vaxxed, you can't go anywhere, do anything. So, if you want to buy food to survive, if you want to buy water to survive, you need to get the vax to get it, to get into the grocery store, or the gas station, or the pub, or the bar, or the... You're not going to be forced to get the vax, but if you want to eat, you're probably going to have to get the vax. So you can get into the store to buy food to survive. They're not forcing you, mind you, but at the same time, they're making it that without it, you're going to die. And they don't care. If they cared, they wouldn't do this. I watched a video where police pushed an elderly couple out of the store because they were trying to get food to survive. They didn't care. They were willing to let that couple die. This is Biden's mandate. He's got the blood on his hands for this. People are dying because of him. People are dying because of Biden. The Biden-Harris administration are killing people. There's an extreme spike in self-harm due to the toxic algorithms that drive children to do things they normally wouldn't do. 6% said they wanted to kill themselves because of the lockdown. With body image issues and body shaming leading to depression, along with the lockdown, it leads to self-harm because of Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube and other social media platforms. They keep pushing our children into dangerous, dark places, and with the like button and everything else, it leads to depression. The Dems' lockdown and lies and scandals are killing our young children. They're depressed. They don't know what to do. They've never been in a situation like this. The Democrats don't care. They're not offering any kind of mental help for any of these children. But the number keeps going up as more and more children go to forever sleep because of the Biden lockdown, because of Biden's fucked up decisions. You get it yet? Biden is killing Americans with his ignorant decisions. Kids don't know how to deal with this shit, so they're forever sleeping because they don't know what else to do. Mosquitoes kill 700,000 to 1 million people each year. Did you know that that's a 99.1% chance, or a 99.1% of people have no problem with mosquitoes? It's actually, the number for mosquito deaths is higher than COVID deaths right now. Should we be outlawing mosquitoes? Make it illegal to be stung by mosquitoes, to be bitten by mosquitoes? Should we have to wear full body meshes? No. You know why? Because the government doesn't give a fuck about that. They only care about the fear and power they can instill through COVID. Just like bees. Bees kill more people than COVID. I don't hear any lockdowns because of bees. Why? Well, because government can't gain control of the people through the fear of bees. Only through this new novel COVID. We went to flatten the curve, 15 days. Then it turned into just a mask. And then no mask, and then a mask, and then 2 masks, and then 2 masks and a vaccination, and then 2 masks and a vaccination and a booster. Now we're at 2 masks, vaccination, and 2 boosters. You see what they're doing? They keep moving the goalposts so they can keep instilling fear into people so they can keep control. For over a year, I've been calling out how the Democratic left been clusterfucking everything they touch, and that Biden and his administration are complete massive failures. It's so sad it's so bad that Democrats cannot hide the failures that is the Biden administration and what they've created. After all that time, people from the left are finally, not all of them, but some are finally beginning to figure out what is going on and that the left is butt fuck crazy. And the reason for most of the social strife stems from Biden-Harris administration being so weak and small and simple-minded as to be able to make a correct decision about anything. Chuck Schumer, in a press conference, said that there is a crisis at the southern border. Biden's open border clusterfuck is allowing hundreds of tons of drugs to get smuggled across the border, along with other illegal substances and human trafficking, exploiting women and children the most, to be used as sex slaves. Over 100,000 people die each year from opioid use. But according to Schumer, those things aren't the crisis. The open border isn't the crisis. The people walking back and forth unvaccinated isn't the crisis. The big problem, the big crisis is counterfeit vax papers. Yeah, that's coming across the border, and according to Schumer, that is the number one crisis. I shit thee not. Not the pandemic, not the fucked border, not the fucked foreign problems. Fake vaccine papers. Unlike the open border that lets millions of illegal immigrants unvaxxed in each year, along with hundreds of tons of fentanyl and other opioids, killing 100,000 plus people each year, and the human trafficking that exploits women and children most, it's the fake counterfeit vax papers. Once again, the Democratic left shows how ignorant the left can possibly be and where their loyalties lie. It's not to the people or close constituents. Democratic loyalties lie with likes, shares, clicks, and how much money they can be made. Dems absolutely do not give a flying fuck about the people at all. Cryptocurrency is on the rise and looks like it will continue to get traction because people are at the end of their rope with the Biden-Harris administration and the absolute failure of everything that the Biden-Harris administration touches. And the printing of money like it's going out of style. The southern border is it is a completely lost cause. It's an open border now, as Biden has lost complete control and massive amounts of drugs coming into the U.S. and the horrible human trafficking of women and children. Foreign affairs are up in flames because Biden has shown the world that in no other way Biden is a very small-minded, weak-minded, simple-minded, old piece of shit man that is mentally incapacitated and getting worse, sundowning every time he is seen on TV. The other world leaders know that Biden is an ineffective puppet with no power, so they run roughshod over him. And he can do nothing to stop it. And he does nothing because he can't. Now, because of everything I just said and more, the Biden printing more money, devaluating the dollar, cryptocurrency may be the best next step in being able to buy and pay for things after the failure of Biden, Dems, and the dollar. You might want to look into it. The border crisis is just fucked. The administration tries to cover it up by banning drones, so the drones can't show the failure of the Biden-Harris administration and all the people who are living in squalor underneath bridges. So they banned drone flights. The local sheriff said, oh no, that's okay. And they gave the news stations a helicopter to fly over and show what Biden has fucked up. They try to cover it with scandals and shit, but fuck them. Nicki Minaj was one of the targets of lies by mainstream media over the Met Gala bullshit. Nicki Minaj didn't want to travel with her new baby. She also said that if she were to get jabbed, it wouldn't be for the Met. Mainstream media printed nothing but lies about her and attempted to dox her family. So, Nicki Minaj came out telling millions that mainstream media is lying. Because Nicki Minaj has so many followers, hundreds of millions, it really hammered the left-leaning biased mainstream media. So, mainstream media doubled down and lied about Nicki more. What Nicki did was show the receipts proving what mainstream media was doing, nothing but lying, and clap back by doxing the POS journalists. Oh, the mainstream media cried about that. Even though they doxed her and her family, you can't do that to them. Well, fuck them. She did. Good for you, Nicki. I normally don't cheer for things like this, but you're in the right. They deserved it. Fuck the media. They think they can do whatever they want to people, and now they're learning that some people are strong enough they can clap back. Good for you, Nicki Minaj. Biden call. Oh, NFL Monday Night Football gave away 20,000 tickets to try to get people to the game because of the political bullshit that is BLM, Antifa, and other groups they're trying to show pride for, even though America's the best fucking place in the world, and if they don't like it, they should get the fuck off the team and go live somewhere else. They tried to get people in, and then they tried to push the vax. People were like, no, fuck you, we're not doing it. And football ratings dropped even further. Good. I haven't been watching. I hope you don't. Fuck them. Biden calls the Afghan drone fuck up, where Biden killed 7 children and 1 aide to Americans. A complete fuck up failure by any other measure. But the Biden-Harris administration called it a non-successful mission. This, along with the massive lies and cover-ups that would end up with thousands killed by the Taliban and Al-Qaeda that Biden left behind stranding these Americans and other people connected to them, and said that 10% of the people could not be gotten out. 10%. He said he'd leave no one behind. Now he's saying, well, we left 10% behind. He should be arrested for crimes of killing Americans. This is Biden's fault. Tens of thousands will die at the hands of the Al-Qaeda, Taliban, and other shitty groups over there because Biden left them behind, lying to everybody about what he was going to do. The big new communist ignorant agenda being pushed by the left is the unvaxxed people should be denied any kind of hospital or doctor access. They're saying if you don't care enough to get the jab, you don't deserve to get any other help. That's like saying if you ride a bike without a helmet, you shouldn't get medical help when you crash. Or you should have worn your helmet, it's your fault. Once more again, the left shows its blind, unwavering ignorance. Fuck them. They are all cunts that think they're right, and they should all be fucking thrown in jail. FDA says third jab may not be a good thing. Biden administration pushes forward anyway despite the warnings and dangers because fuck you, do as you're told, we don't care about you. Papers, please. Freedom of choice and privacy is out the window as business employees Some get drunk with power demanding papers and ID from those who come in and try to use their business. These people are happy to make you, to force you to show your papers. These people are drunk with power and should be fucking fired. Fuck those cunts. Even with the massive obvious failures of jobs that can't be filled, bias and segregation over the schmovid BS with blind, sad, unwavering ignorance, Dems claim economy is doing great. It's not. More blackface pictures surface of Justin Trudeau in blackface. More clapback to come from people that have had enough of that stupid fuck and are pushing back. AOC flaunts dress that was made by an immigrant. That's she's so proud of that this dress was made by an immigrant. Come to find out, this immigrant immigrated from Toronto. Fuck you, AOC. You're such a dumb cunt. Biden's open borders allow immigrants to move back and forth across the border whenever they want. The border debacle is a complete failure of the Biden-Harris administration. France recalls all ambassadors from the U.S. because of Biden's clusterfuck over schmovid lockdown and Biden's complete failure. France cannot stand the ignorance from the left and the left fucked up politics. France can't trust Biden and the fucked in the head Dems, so they leave the U.S. to protect themselves. Jen Psaki added to the failure by flat out lying to the people when there was a video proof proving Psaki to be a blind, ignorant, troglodyte lying cunt. No other country leaders believe Biden, Harris, Pelosi, or Psaki because of the obvious lies that everyone can see to be lies, because it is too big to hide, because the Dems left lies anyway, showing the world just how stupid as fuck these Dems are. Fucking lying piece of shit Dems. Now, you may have got through my little rant there that I think the Dems aren't doing so good. Well, let me also add that the Republicans may not be doing crazy shit like the Democrats, but at the same time, they're doing absolutely nothing. They're not trying to stop the Dems going, whoa, you shouldn't do that. Nothing. So fuck the Republicans too. I'm a conservative. I'm probably what you'd call a rhino, a Republican in name only. I don't like most of the Republicans. I don't like any of the Democrats. I like people who are able to think for themselves and able to find the truth without being told what the truth is. Now, I know this video ran very long, and I'm sorry. I had a lot to talk about, and I hadn't been on for a couple of days. If you made it this far into the video, please share, give it a thumbs up, and if you're feeling up to it, subscribe. If not, I get it. Peace. I love you guys. I hope you have a good day. I hope things go your way. You can't love everybody. Let's try not to hate. I love you fuckers, though. I'll see you again. I hope things get better. Stay high, bitches.